So we all know about the interview with Brett Favre last year. Brett Favre was talking about he thinks Deion Sanders will be a great fit for Southern Miss, and he was trying to get him over there. The question isn't should Deion have went there. The question is would Deion have made a difference? Well, people, we're going to look at that right now and see how to take care of it. Now, of course, everybody was talking about the fact that Deion Sanders is using HBCUs to make money. And they bring up the fact with Deion Sanders' salary with incentives, it's around $300,000 a year. Um, true, it's a $120,000 annual performance incentive, automatic extension with a 8-win season. True, he's set to be paid $300,000 as part of a contract that begins December 1 of this year and it runs December 15th, 2024. True, University will owe Sanders a full remaining amount of the contract if they fire him within the first year of his employment. After December 15th, 2021, Jackson State could fire him for a price tag of $300,000. If he were to leave JSU, he owed the school half of their remaining salary. We got that. We also understand, you know, the salary is on par with other FCS coaches. Now, the thing people look at the most, they will say it will put him last among FBS public schools. However, the contract is loaded with incentives. He receives $25,000 for each win over an FBS team. Gets $10,000 for a SWAC divisional title, $30,000 for a conference championship. If his team reaches the Celebration Bowl at season ending, pitting the SWAC versus the MEAC, he'll get $50,000. Okay, so it's very incentive laden. Yes. We also get the bonus for your ticket sales. If the game draws more than 30,000 fans, he gets 10% of all sales after 30,000. 10% of all season ticket revenue after the first 10,000 are purchased. If JSU changes conferences, which to me is the biggest one people aren't looking at, he'll get 100,000. We get that. Okay. There are several triggers for automatic extensions in the contract, including 8-win regular season, get him an extra year. If the AD who hired him, Ashley Robinson, leaves Jackson State, Sanders automatically gets a 1-year extension. If JSU leaves the SWAC, he gets 2 years added to the deal. So, I don't think his contract at JSU would be more of him using JSU. But if he got the same kind of deal with USM, the increase would be dramatic. As far as, like I said, the lower FBS teams, looking at Will Hall. Will Hall is the head coach of Southern Miss. Jay Hobson was the coach, but he left after just one game. He was making $500,000 annually as leader of the program. Will Hall deal is 4 years, worth about $800,000 a year. That puts him in the same territory as coaches like Tim Lester, Western Michigan, Jeff Traylor, UTSA, Jim McElwain, who used to be Florida's coach, Central Michigan, and of course Jake over here at Texas State. Hall will also be given a salary pool of $2.1 million for his assistant coaches, which ranks third in the league. This is really the biggest way to have a great coaching staff, have a higher pool for your assistants. That's one of the things you got to look at, which is also why Deion has reached out to some of the coaches he has. He knows them personally. He knows that they're willing to work with him to build up their resume as well as to assist kids. He could have paid them a lot more and got a bigger coaching staff if he went to USM right away. So If he were to leave Hattiesburg before the 2022 season, Hall would owe Southern Miss 1.5 million, and the buy would drop by 500,000 over the next 2 years. Remember, Dion had to pay half of the contract, which would have been around 700 something thousand. Yeah, I know I have a thing for stadiums. So if Dion would have went down to Hattiesburg, Mississippi, which is not that far from Jackson. Of course, I'm in Texas, so anything is a little relevant for distance for me. He would have had a decent stadium to play in, Conference USA. He would have came already automatically in with the facilities that he is seeking. Of course, he's seeking to upgrade the facilities to pass this level, but he would have gotten to this level up front. So what is all included with that? Would the impact have been different from going to a HBCU as to going to a higher level program? Well, looking from here, it would have been a quicker move, but I'm not sure. But I do believe Jackson will have more fans in the stands than Southern Miss. Hattiesburg is a great community. It's a great facility, great area. But would it have been a different impact? So while we can't judge the style translation of the players who played in the spring and the SWAC and those who played in the fall in Conference USA, because they're two different divisions, two different levels, we can judge the style as far as play calling. So looks like with Southern Miss, they had 149 attempts for their star quarterback Jack Abraham. Frank Gore Jr., yes, that is Frank Gore's son. 708 rushing. Jason Brownlee, receiver. Now Brownlee has 610 on receptions. It looks like Hayes Maples, the leading linebacker with 91 tackles, and Tyler Barnes was the leading interceptor. Excuse me, with one interception. Looks like 5.9 yards a carry, 121 attempts. May have been sort of a balanced attack, more of a ground and pound. Didn't see much rushing out of Mr. Abraham, which let me know that Trey Lau will be the rushing quarterback. So what will happen in receptions? 34 receptions for the leading receiver, 610 yards. Kind of spread out the offense a little bit, but also that was kind of helped out with the long passes of 88 and 74. So how would that translate to what Jackson did? Well, looking at Jackson, we had Jalen Jones, who was the leader in passes. Now, 143 attempts. Mr. Abraham had 149. The percentage, as far as completion percentage, was higher. I believe Mr. Abraham's was 65%, and Jalen's was 55. With this tendency, I do believe Quincy would have started because of the fact that he would have had a better completion percentage, at least in the games that he played. Now, when it comes to rushing, the attempts for rushing for Southern Miss, it's 121, 67, 37. Yes, they played more games, but they also had a more dedicated rushing attack. But it looks like right here, Tyson Alexander, he may have translated better to the bigger league. He has a little more speed than Frank Gore Jr. does. Frank Gore Jr. is more of a ground and pound type running back. Tyson Alexander is more of a give me that hole, I'm gone. Now on the receptions, this is something that's very interesting. So the receivers that Jackson State has, at least in the spring. Christian Allen came on very late. It's a freshman. I get it. He came in mostly towards the Quincy Casey starting position because they were on the scout team together. So he had a little more assurances with him. But Warren Newman, Corey Reed, and of course the transferred Dalen Baldwin to Michigan would have transferred over to the Southern Miss style because of the fact that these two in particular, Reed and Baldwin, are bigger receivers. Newman would have been their slot receiver, more of the, I would say Tyreek Hill, but without the Tyreek Hill speed, more of a Dante Hall type. He would have translated great over to that level. Richie would have been a great tight end to that level as well. When you get over to the receptions over here, I mean, honestly, 34, 30, 29, 23. They have the same four. Tight end with 10, running back coming out the backfield with 9. It's the same kind of deal over here, 27, 27, 35. He was actually a leading receiver. 13 for this one, out of the backfield, 5. So they don't really use the backs as the relief valve. Neither one of them do. But Smith scoring, of course, Baldwin was number one receiver, and Newman was second, I believe, as far as total touchdowns. That is something that will translate. Over here to Southern Miss, it was basically the same deal, 5, 4. There were and number one, I believe, was Kevin Perkins. It was more of that goal line running back type. But the whole point of this situation is looking at it like Deion would have made a big influence or big impact on the rosters for Southern Miss, especially coming up for 2021. Let's hear him say it for himself.
First day of the second summer school semester, we have 98% of all kids here, which is wonderful. We had a team meeting last night. We echoed smart, fast, tough, and disciplined, what that actually means. And I can't wait to see if we understand what that means today. I tell you what, we're going to be smart, tough, fast, or disciplined, or we ain't going to be at all. Read between the lines.
I just looked at my wrist, I got time today.
Yeah, I ain't getting copyrighted for that. It's bigger than just the fact that Southern Miss now has a 123rd ranked recruiting class. And not many of the kids who were recruited to play could play at Jackson State's 54th ranked recruiting class. It's bigger than the fact that most of these kids will automatically be starters at Southern Miss. If you look around the country right now, you look at applications right now are getting up higher than they ever were at HBCUs. I'm not attributing that to Deion Sanders. That actually might be the reason why Deion was lured to Jackson State, because of the wave that's going on. People are giving tons of money to HBCUs right now. There's $40 million donated by Jeff Bezos' ex-wife. Then you have the money that's getting attributed to Florida A&M University. You got the Jackson State has a $19+ million marketing surplus because of Deion. They have the $400 million contract that was given to HBCUs via Pepsi. And you look at kids who, because of the rise of state-level hate crimes, they're driving black kids and minority students to enroll at HBCUs, a place where they can feel safe. It's like a safe place, a place where they can go be around people who are like them. But there are white people that go to HBCUs as well, but it's just when your school is not allowing you to speak out on those crimes, you want to go somewhere where you can. Look at initiatives like what's going on in Southern University at New Orleans, and other HBCUs, which are contacting students. It's a new initiative aimed to bring back 4,000 students who stopped out of private HBCU colleges and universities and guide them to graduation with one-on-one coaching. When you have people who are willing and able to drag you and to give you that will, that drive, that's what HBCUs are about. I'm not saying other schools don't do it, but when you have a school that has 50,000, 60,000 people, you don't really get that one-on-one coaching, that one-on-one time with someone who understands everything you're going through and can help you out. I think Dion may not have the same football impact as quickly if he went to Southern Mississippi. But he is helping to shine the light on what is going on at HBCUs. He is not the only one, but he is the biggest known one who is helping guide HBCUs, or at least giving kids a chance to look at HBCUs again. The biggest drive in my lifetime was A Different World. This is the next generation's A Different World. But hey, I'm gonna let the crowd handle that. We're gonna let the crowd sing it out.